Hey guys, it's me, Seth again. Today I'm going to be talking about biomechanics and coaching. Um, so I'm kind of going off an article that I found online, and it's talking about really the main idea of the article is just how the knowledge of biomechanics itself can assist in coaching athletes as a whole. And one of the important things about kind of understanding biomechanics when it comes to coaching is that biomechanics itself, it's the science of human motion. It's an actual science that helps us understand the human body as like a full system of it's a full system of kind of coinciding relationships and how different interactions in those relationships produce kind of like a efficient movement, really efficient movement. It talks about like internal and external forces working against each other that kind of lead to both movement and rest, which in this case, rest is the lack of movement. The issue, I wouldn't even say the issue, uh, kind of the tedious thing when it comes to biomechanics and coaching is the application of it. So it's kind of hard to think about it because when you like break it down, it's still a science. Like you have to really kind of do your research on it for it to fully make sense to you. And one of the things is that there's kind of a convergence of sports sciences that leads to kind of like an optimal performance. The coach themselves, they need, kind of a basic understanding of how, sciences work in a practical applied manner. But the athletes themselves also kind of need to know how their body works in order to really flourish, in a sense, grow, in all honesty. An example of that is like a mechanically correct technique uh, that will result in more efficient movements, which will result in less energy costs to perform a movement. So, like bench pressing, if you've ever done a bench press, you know, let's say you see a football player bench press, and what they're typically going to do is drive their shoulder blades back into the bench, have a very small arch in their back, and bench. And there's nothing wrong with that form necessarily. They're benching for explosiveness. They're benching for power. They're not benching just to bench, the biggest amount of weight that they can. But when you look at like an actual power lifter in competition, you can see their bench press form is completely different. If you look at the top power lifters in the world, really, they all have crazy arches in their back when they're benching. They'll drive their shoulders into the bench like football players do, but they have a massive arch that gives them, it decreases the range of motion by a lot. In some cases, it decreases it by like over half. And it makes it not necessarily easier, it just decreases the amount of movement and energy cost to perform the movement. And going off of that, it's really important to understand biomechanics when it comes to coaching, so the athletes know what's quite literally mechanically correct for their bodies in order for them to optimally expand upon themselves and grow as an athlete. Not even as an athlete, as a human being. That's that's really all I got for today, guys.